Live from the Washington, D.C. area, it's the Inside Scoop, Emerald Planet. All the ecology news that our viewers want to know. Now, here's your host, Executive Director of the Emerald Planet, Dr. Sam Lee Hancock.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, President, Executive Director of Emerald Planet and the Emerald Planet TV, and we're coming to you from downtown Taipei, Taiwan, as we move around the globe looking at 144 different nations, looking for the 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And of course, we're trying to find the people, the outstanding leaders that are making a difference today, as we look forward to adding 2 billion, and we'll say that again, 2 billion new people to the planet by 2050. And how we're going to be able to accommodate those people to bring about an increased quality of life, not just to sustain life, and at the same time to allow people to flourish in ways that they've never even conceived of in emerging market nations. And I have a young man who's been working for a long time on this. His name is Daniel Young. He is the co-founder and senior consultant for what's called GlobalTic. Daniel, welcome to the Emerald Planet.
You're very welcome. Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm glad to be with you in Taipei, Taiwan. I love this country. It's a very beautiful place. The people are extremely friendly. The food is absolutely delicious. And you're leaders in innovation and technology and collaboration. So tell us a little bit about GlobalTic.
Okay. GlobalTic is, GlobalTic is entrepreneurship, education. So GlobalTic is founded in 2006, and we gather a lot of expertise, different values of expertise, people to be together, working on innovation and entrepreneurship, education. And of course, besides education, we also working on the, we call incubation, and also the business, accelerator for boost up the business in certain scale.
Well, I know that you're working with a number, maybe as many as 100 now, countries. They are looking at many of these emerging market nations in Africa, South America, and also in Asia. So in looking at these countries, why would a country like Taiwan want to reach out to all these different countries and all these various continents to get them involved in entrepreneurship, innovation, and technology?
Okay. This is like what we are doing, like sharing. We learning and also sharing. We're learning from the society. We also try to share those innovation and entrepreneurship. What we've been doing for almost 13 to 15 years. Try to share to different people and also different regions as we can.
Well, looking at this sharing, I know this is something that's very important to GlobalTic to be able to share. It's a two-way street, and at the same time, you're actually involving indigenous peoples, both in Taiwan itself and all these other nations around the globe. So how are you being able to bring in all these different countries, and then you're expanding with the indigenous peoples that have very unique cultures and language and history within the societies of the countries that are involved with your organization?
Okay, that is something very interesting. According to we are working on the technology, we're working on innovation, and we also found the indigenous people. Their culture is very rich, so they have a some rich culture. Besides we working on the entrepreneurship, we also can learn some of cultural elements from those indigenous people from Taiwan. So this is something very interesting for our innovation and entrepreneurship, education.
Well, looking at these elements that you're talking about from the indigenous cultures and peoples, and then also reaching out from a very ancient society like Chinese society is at least 6,000 years of recorded history, and then you're reaching back in indigenous people that have some 30,000 years of recorded history. So it's amazing that you're blending these very old, ancient, established cultures with the very latest technology, which Taiwan is famous for around the globe. So through GlobalTic, how are you able to blend these two disparate elements together to make a very total whole?
Once again, this is a good question. Technologies and also the culture itself. So we can, understand, the culture. We can understand the technology. What we're doing on innovations. So we're doing a lot on, on the innovation and technologies. But for the indigenous, they have a rich cultures. For those cultures, sometimes we look at in a different aspects. We try to get some elements, some ideas from those cultures, and to be adapted into the technologies. So that would be like we call it the cultural innovation.
So you're bringing cultural innovation. You're using, I think you've mentioned this term to me many times, this eco-culture, which is very important. And so looking at technology, how do you translate the latest technologies, because you're working with young people, and many of them are university, and then they have graduated and they have professional degrees. So how do you work with them so that they feel like that they can actually be very entrepreneurial, and to develop new technologies then can be commercialized into the world?
Okay. Once again, we're talking about the ecosystem. The ecosystem is
now this is ecosystem. Is that the word you're talking about? Okay.
There we go. Yeah, and the ecosystem, on the cultural innovation is about from the indigenous, cultures, and try to get the technology and also the the teams, the startups, entrepreneurship, try to work with those cultures, together. It's like we are trying to get the group of people that are doing education. They're doing the business, and the other side they are working on technologies. So to combine them together. So we work in as a teamwork to figure out which is a better way, or maybe they can migrate together to become a new business, or to become a entrepreneurship in innovation way.
Well, I know you're working very closely with the universities throughout Latin America, and you're involving the professors and also the senior administration so that they are actually supportive of the work that you're trying to do. And now you've expanded to the African continent, working with the universities, professors, the young people there, and of course spreading across Asia. So what is the approach of involving the universities? Do they approach GlobalTic and say, we would like to work with you? Are you reaching out to them? Or is it a balance of the two?
Okay. In most of cases, they approach us, and of course we also try to share that to them. And as long as they are looking at this, entrepreneurship and innovation platform, most of cases they like it very much. So they approach to us, and we are also happy to share that to them.
Mm-hmm. Now, looking at this, you're talking about this platform of the innovation, collaboration, and technology. Through GlobalTic, I know that you really have evolved your own system, and it is this balance between collaboration but also competition. And so explain a little bit about the platform. How has it evolved from when you first started, and how then does it engage young people so they want to be involved?
Okay, that's that's the way we are doing that, as entrepreneurship education. This is a kind of a competition. We try to bring the startups, the new, entrepreneur, they working on as a competition. So besides the competition, so they can learn, they also can share, So it looks through this competition event. So they also can, try to, share, also collaborate with a different team from different countries. So that is the process, we are working on. During this competition, we also doing mentoring or coaching, like the different mentors from different countries. They coaching those, teams, and from coaching those teams, then they have a competition. Coaching is like to share it, to help the teams to have a better, better idea of better business plan. And then after that, then we have a competition. And besides the competition, we also have we call it business networking. Rather than to share to each other, maybe they have some business opportunity between different teams or between different environments, so they can work together.
So what you're trying to do then, Daniel, is you're trying to bring the best. So you have the collaboration, so they have the support. They're collaborating on their own home campus with their professors and administration in the university. They're bringing a team together. People are like-minded that want to work on innovation or a special type of technology. And then you have the competition, so that they really have to hone their skills, and they have to, it's just like an athlete. You want to collaborate with people, learn from others, but at the same time, you want to be the very best you can possibly be. So how do you balance that so that there's not so much emphasis on the competition that overshadows the collaboration?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is that we are talking about the business networking and also the collaboration. After the competitions, the competition is they are bringing their business plan, their idea, and also in most of cases, those teams they already start companies in their own country.
Now this is amazing because many of these really already have their company.
Yes, they already have their company,
and they're using this in order to perfect that company.
But see, we're talking about they already have a company in their region or in their countries, but maybe they want to they want to expand their business to different countries. They just start up. Okay, so we also prepare a platform for them to have a business networking. We invite lots of venture capitals or small and medium-sized company. Maybe they are relating to their topics from different countries and different areas. So try to build up some kind of business networking for them after the competition. So that's the way of a collaboration besides the competition.
Well, I know this whole thing as far as GlobalTic is involved, this talentpreneur, which is a new word that you brought into the international language, innovation, collaboration, and also you've added this new twist on what competition is all about on that. And I just think it's, Daniel, it's absolutely fantastic the work that you're doing. And I know that your balance as far as having your own companies and yet dedicating so much time and effort to this nonprofit organization called GlobalTic that's headquartered in Taipei, Taiwan, is really a fantastic opportunity for young people around the world to be involved in what's going on. And so thank you for being with us, allowing us to be here in Taiwan, to be able to share this with you and to take this message around the globe as together we create the Emerald Planet.
She's had more than a dozen fractures. And in the next few years, she faces 2 major surgeries to strengthen her fragile bones. She's only 10 years old. Most people don't worry about fragile bones until late in life. For those with osteogenesis imperfecta, brittle bones are a concern throughout their lifetime. Find out how you can strengthen this child's future.
Diabetes is a killer. After I was diagnosed, I didn't feel sick, so I didn't listen to my doctor. Then it struck. I had a heart attack, then a stroke, and I was only 49.
Most people with diabetes also have high blood pressure and cholesterol, which can cause severe heart damage. In fact, 2 out of 3 people with diabetes die from heart disease or stroke.
Don't let diabetes destroy your life.
Call for your free diabetes survival guide. Choose to live.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock of Emerald Planet in Washington, D.C. of the United States. And we're looking around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for the 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And now I'm actually in Taipei, Taiwan, as we have these mini treks looking around the globe. So we're actually visiting the countries and broadcasting from there, back in through Washington, D.C., out to now 2,090 television stations in the United States, and then overseas around the globe in 214 nations and territories. And we have a gentleman who's actually looking at how we're going to accommodate 2 billion, I'm going to say that again, 2 billion new people coming on the planet. Sitting right beside me is Huann-Shiuh. He's project leader for video streaming and telecommunications as part of the Industrial Technology Research Institute. And also, he is also working with the Ministry of Economy. These are all very powerful jobs there, Mr. Shiuh. So congratulations on all that.
Yeah, I'm so proud of this.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Tell us a little bit about this combination of video streaming and telecommunications, how you're blending those two together as we move through the 21st century.
Okay, actually my job is really to promote the video streaming technology and the telecommunication technology to the industry, because the ITRI, the Industrial Technology Research Institute, is do the research job, and we develop the technology and transfer to the local company. So you can see a lot of product from Taiwanese company. The original source is from the ITRI.
Oh, I tell you, that's absolutely incredible. Now, looking at this, I know you call it ITRI, so the Industrial and Technology Research Institute. How long has that been in existence? And is it a public-private partnership, or is this totally government organization?
Okay, ITRI is a government-sponsored organization. It's a non-profit organization. This is just 40 years.
That's a long time to be involved.
Yeah. So we have about 6,000 people working in ITRI, and we have about 90% engineer work on ITRI. And our field is about the ICT industrial, biomedical, machinery, aerospace, and so on.
So what you're looking at here through this ITRI, as you call it, it really is the leading edge of innovation in Taiwan itself, but also that's led to many innovations now that you're being able to manufacture and export around the globe. So looking at that, how do you work with the small businesses, not just the large multinationals, to help them to become more innovative and also to collaborate among the small businesses and with the government?
Okay, government have two ways to support the small and medium company. For example, we have the government sponsor the funding to the ITRI. Like ITRI makes the technology and transfer to the small company. They can make their own products and to the world. Second, the government have sponsored some funding to the small business company, help them to some research and development. So technology from ITRI, but the funding from the government.
Well, you're looking at Taiwan, which is considered in the world market to be very innovative, also very efficient as far as its manufacturing process. So what was the decision process of the government? Why did it want to get involved in this instead of just saying, okay, small business, you're on your own?
Okay, Taiwanese, you know the Taiwanese people, they want to be a boss better than to be an engineer. So this is an entrepreneur environment in Taiwan. So the government want help them to start up the new business. So Taiwanese have, in the past, they take one case and do the business in the world. And they also need many products to help them to do the business in the world. So Taiwan government spend a lot of money to do this. And they sent some of non-profit organizations to help the small company to do their job.
So really what's happened then, it's almost like it's a triad. You have the small business, you have the government, and then you have this nonprofit that's out there. And so as the iTree is as a nonprofit, is it free to innovate and research and develop in any direction that feels like is the best to go?
Government, from iTree side, we write the proposal to the government, and the government have a team to examine what kind of project Taiwan want to do.
So they're evaluating whatever proposal you put through.
Yeah.
And can I assume then that you're talking and listening to the small businesses, the types of things they want to do? Then you put this proposal together and then it goes to the government?
Yeah, they have two ways. You know, we have a lot of people, Taiwan people is go abroad to America, to Europe, to Japan. They have some idea what's the new technology. And also careful listen the song, from the small or big enterprise, from the industrial. So from the new technology side and from the industrial, both sides put together.
I see, bring it together. So looking at that, of course, the Emerald Planet's very focused on, sustainable environmental and economic development, all the things, which is a very broad topic, as you're well aware, Mr. Shai. So looking at that, how do you focus on green technology, green entrepreneurship, and green jobs?
Okay, in the beginning, we must use the low power, we must saving the energy, and we hope the process to make the products is, for example, is PB free or some we need to.
Like zero carbon, those types of things. Yes. Okay.
So in the beginning, we set this kind of a criteria, and we develop technology and also the process technology to do this job, to saving the energy or green technology.
So looking at this, you're doing the innovation, you're looking to the government to be a partner in this effort, you're transferring that, but none of this happens instantly. It's a long-term process in order to bring about such innovation and the creation of new technologies. So typically, how long would you work with these small businesses in order for them to develop as they should and then to get it into the domestic market but also into the international market?
Okay, generally in the beginning, each will make the core technology, and we do some prototyping, and the small business company, they watch this technology and to think about how to use this technology to make the new products. So I think this process generally is 2 years to 3 years. So making the technology and the prototyping, and you can productize. So just 2 or 3 years.
I see. So iTree, then you're looking at minimally 2 to 3 years in order to bring about this idea into small business. And then do you follow the small businesses to help them along, let's say 5, 6, 7 years later, or after 2 or 3 years they're weaned from the process and then you start with new small companies?
Okay, from technology side, we're looking for 5 years, 6 years. But for the product side, it's just 2 years later. Because we are R&D for the business, a small business company in Taiwan.
I see. So then, you're talking about these prototyping. So actually, within iTree itself, you're making the prototypes, And so the small business can come to you, share the idea, or you have an idea you want to share with them. You make the prototypes first, and then it goes into allowing these small businesses to create these and then also create the employment.
Yes, each do this job is core technology, and at the same time we also have an incubation center inside industry, and we also cooperate with the existing small company we call Open Lab. So
this is called Open Lab.
Open Lab can cooperate with the local company.
Right.
Incubation center to incubate the start company. So it's both sides, two track.
Well, I know that you're a GlobalTic mentor, so that's a lot of responsibility. You're working with the small startup companies coming from all over the globe. So how are you able to transfer this concept, this idea of iTree, to other countries like Honduras and Argentina or Uruguay or Uganda or places in Eastern Europe? How are you able to transfer that idea?
Okay, usually we ask several questions. First one, why do you do this business? What kind of technology you need? For example, if you want to, you have a technology, but what kind of business you want to do? You want to sell the product, or want to do the service, or want to license to your customer? So different technology have a different way to make money. So we help them to know about what kind of business you want to do.
Well, this is going to, we're getting towards the end of our time together, Mr. Shiuh. So looking at it, most of you are engineers.
Yeah.
But about half of our conversation has been about business.
Yeah.
So you got about 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, as an engineer, keep such a close focus on the business?
Okay, I mean the important you must have some kind of a big business concept. For example, how to make money is a profit model. How to do your business is a business model, and how to make money is a revenue model. So, business concept with the technology is a good start.
Oh, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Well, Huann-Shiuh is the project leader for video streaming, telecommunications, and it sounds like about 50 other things that you're doing within the Industrial Technology Research Institute. And thank you for being with us. And also, it's just fantastic to see what is actually going on in Taiwan through the GlobalTic and working with entrepreneurs as we work together to create the Emerald Planet.
Art, a universal language, an expression of culture, of self. And now, thanks to Empowered Women International, a way for emerging and established immigrant and refugee artists and artisans to find hope to earn a living while enriching the lives of all of us. Empowered Women International, making a better America every day. For more information on Empowered Women International's educational programs or to make a tax-free donation, contact cfrip@aol.com.
Here, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Here, kitty, kitty.
You'd think it would be easy to tell which kids have trouble with their eyesight. But that's not always the case. Even though 1 in 4 children may have a vision problem, eye doctors tell us the symptoms aren't always so obvious. We do know that 80% of all childhood learning is visual. And without good vision, kids can have trouble learning to read and may fall behind in school. For clues on how to spot the real-life signs of childhood vision problems and what parents can do, visit checkyearly.com. A public service message from the Vision Council of America and Reading is Fundamental.
We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, President and Executive Director of Emerald Planet and the Emerald Planet TV of Washington, D.C. in the United States. As we come to you looking around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for those 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And we have someone very special as I'm sitting here in Taipei, Taiwan, and this is Elias Takewatan, who is the president of the Taiwan Indigenous Cultural Enterprise Development Association. Alice, that's a long term that you have there, but I tell you, it's a fantastic organization, and it's really wonderful seeing you again. I've missed being with you, and thank you for your hospitality in the past when I've been in Taiwan. But let's start off with for our domestic and international audiences, what is the Taiwan Indigenous Cultural Enterprise Development Association?
向我请来介绍这个协会。
OK， 好，我们协会其实因为原住民大部分在文化艺术的部分有特别的天分，但是呢，它必须要跟社会沟通。那社会沟通在经济的平台上，它就是一个经济的操作，所以产业这个部分呢，我就成立了这样子的协会。
The NGO has its talent and its strengths in culture and, of course, in art. But she wanted to develop the association so that it could also connect with society and developing into other areas also. So it's, of course, the indigenous culture, but it is also the development of cultural enterprises.
I know, Alice, that you are a true leader for not only the indigenous peoples within Taiwan, but you're very famous around the globe. And also, you're a true leader for women to get involved in innovation, technology, and collaboration. This is the new movement, as there's now more females than males on the planet. So how do you see the evolution of women going into business and non-traditional roles of society?
你在全球很有名，因为你一直做的文化和环保的活动，但是你也是一个女性领导，也是很伟大的一个领导。那他问你的观点，你对女性的领导的未来的发展是怎么看？有什么影响？
当然，他的问题真好。
An excellent question.
因为未来的女性啊，在这个世界上她是半边，就是整个一个家庭的话，没有女性，我觉得这个家庭就不会幸福。整个的星球是母性，地球是母性的，所以我们常常说她是地球妈妈，是这样子。所以我认为母性这个角色在整个地球的发展上，尤其是未来的环保这个部分呢，她的角色非常重。尤其女性在厨房。她要家庭健康，那么她要整个地球健康，尤其我是素食者，那个整个地球的健康，实际上是一个母性在厨房就决定了她的权利跟她的义务。对。
Organizations are also very much like families in that they have both the male and the female. And so her role as a female leader is also that of the mother. And seeing that everything is well taken care of. So like in the home, as females traditionally are involved with taking care of the home and in the kitchen and everything, which she brings up as she is a very devoted vegan. She also hopes that as a leader she can bring that side of the family and the society into the leadership on the business and the NGO level.
Well, looking at the future, you know we're going to be adding 2 billion more people to the planet by 2050. And so the challenge is going to be able to feed and provide water and energy for all these people. Yet there's traditions within the indigenous cultures that you represent, because there's a number of indigenous groups on Taiwan and around the globe that have very innovative, even though ancient, ways that we can actually provide the food, the water, and the energy for these people. How do you see your association being able to bring all of these ideas, bringing the best from the indigenous peoples in order to benefit everyone on the planet?
全球的现在的人口是70亿，而2050的时候就是90亿。那么到那个时候，现在的环境的问题会有压力，就是怎么样的为大家让大家有水，有住的地方等等等。所以原住民里面的文化是有很长的历史，可以怎么样的通过你们的文化去有一些方式，有一些方法去解决未来的人口的一些需求和环境的情况。
谢谢他问这个问题。
She appreciates that you've asked this question.
Thank you.
在原住民的世界里面，其实我们很早就知道，就是从很古老就知道，在我们在向文明发展的时候有些东西自然的环境、自然的资源，有些东西是不能用金钱来交换的。所以在原住民的世界里面的生活，大部分都是跟这个大自然沟通，土地、水、阳光，是跟它互动产出的东西是直接可以还给我们健康的。那现在的所有的世界的生活，其实反过来在找寻这种健康的生活。什么叫健康的生活？就是健康的面对大自然，跟它互动。比方说你亲近泥土，然后亲近阳光，亲近水，这样子，那大自然在这样子的互动当中呢，它不会有破坏这种情况发生。那我们现在的所谓文明生活，其实都是截取，然后所有的东西都能够变成现款来作为我们的生活的那个能够支配的东西。其实这是有很大的错误。我想在未来人口越多的时候，我们在教育方面实际上要学习原住民。那所以我在2008年、09年的时候，那塞缅汉克先生那个时候他也有来，那个我召集了20多个国家的头目在台湾举行会议。那个时候的题目就是珍惜古老智慧，重视地球资源，就是怎么样从传统的文化里面来学习古老的智慧里面怎么样对待大自然。那原住民的大自然主义实际上会给现在的跟未来的这个全球呢很大的一个智慧的一个给予。这个给予就是文明走向的时候有一个基本的本质，人类的本质我们要找回它，来放在生活里面去运用，而不是金钱支配一切，是这样。但是当然因为我们是跟 GlobalTic 合作，它有一个很好的机制，就是教人怎么样在传统生活里面去创新发扬这个使用这种物件或者使用智慧去创造一个新的生活。但是我们为什么跟他们有这样子的合作，是我们也希望在创新的过程当中不要忘了人类本质跟大自然主义这个部分，是这样。太长了。
So it is very much about the direct connection between humanity and nature. And from ancient times, there's been the understanding that there is a connection where we receive water and we receive sunlight and we receive the minerals and everything. And it's not a transaction that involves any kind of a currency, but it is a direct understanding of what is available and how to use it and whatnot. And so this is what is most key, understanding how that is balanced, how everything can be shared. And this is one of the key issues that was brought up in 2008 and 2009 when you were present for WSIC, where she was able to invite the leaders of 20 tribes around the world to come and look into their societies and their cultures and their histories as a whole, and to see how is it that we can take this wisdom and we can show the world how to become closer to nature. And they were all very clear and all in full agreement that it is about being closer to nature, understanding nature more, understanding how we can both receive from nature, but also we can give back to nature, and also, of course, understanding humans ourselves, humanity, what it is that we have within us that can contribute to how we live and whatnot. So it is seeing everything as our connection with the world versus us separated from the planet, and that is what she considers to be the key element.
Well, I think this is really very profound what you're sharing with us, and I'm going to ask a shorter question, and we'll have shorter answers for this because we're just about running out of time. But I noticed with your leadership and leaders of many indigenous tribes around the planet, more and more indigenous peoples and the tribal areas are rapidly embracing the latest technologies. They want to, but at the same time, they want to have this balance between the latest technologies and the traditional culture. How do you see that they're able to meld these two together so there's not a clash of the culture, but actually they complement each other?
现在全球的很多的原住民的社会，都是还在尊重他们的传统和文化，但是也是想开始用更多的现代的科技，为了有各种的发展。那么怎么样的可以有很平等的科技的发展和传统的尊重和让它存在在生活里面。
And we have 1 minute for an answer.
请1分钟以内。
1分钟，公平交易。
公平交易。
对。
Just fair exchange.
Oh, that's fast. But looking at this fair exchange, and we have about 30 seconds left. How do you see the future of the association reaching out and involving even more indigenous peoples as a bridge to all of humanity and all of society?
原住民怎么样的跟全球的更多的原住民的社会去连接，让大家一起发展。
我觉得大部分的科技。
One day these rats were playing in the woods. Well, it's some matches and that's no good. Listen to smoke before you give it a try.
Only you.
Don't play with matches. Don't play with fire. Cause there's nothing very funny about ripped off money. Nothing very nice on a homeless mind. So if a gorgeous force is what you desire, don't play with matches. Don't play with fire.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Fire.
Why don't you just wash your car at home?
When I wash my car, everything runs down the street and down into the storm drains. With all the chemicals in the soaps and waxes, the last thing I want to do is poison my own drinking water. At least here, it's all contained and recycled on site. That's why I also take my car in for oil changes instead of doing it myself. I might take a chance on spilling stuff. You know what the best part is?
What?
More time to kick back and watch the game.
How far would you go to protect the planet?
I want you to build an ark.
Here we go. Okay, that's good. Oh, okay. Ow!
Maybe there's another way.
People, the flood is imminent!
Is it too much to ask for a little precipitation?
Go to fightglobalwarming.com to find out what you and your community can do to reduce global warming pollution.
Somewhere around the world, there are men and women of the armed forces risking their lives, helping rebuild communities after natural disasters, collecting toys for needy children, tutoring kids in school. These are your sons and daughters who work to keep us safe, secure, and free. Dedicated men and women who put their country first.
we're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sam Hancock, the President and Executive Director of Emerald Planet and the Emerald Planet TV from Washington, D.C. of the United States, as we look around the globe in 144 different nations, looking for the 1,000 best practices, the technologies, the services, and the products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. I'm here in Taipei, Taiwan, as we look at GlobalTic, a very innovative organization that has for many years now has grown to working with over 100 nations around the globe, particularly in developing countries as far as Africa, South America, Asia, and the South Pacific is concerned. At the same time, they're involved with mainstream countries that have been involved in the Industrial Revolution and moving towards innovation and technology. And the gentleman I have sitting with me is from the country of Sweden. His name is Elias, who is the president of Enspyre of Sweden. But he has a startup in Taiwan, has been very active here for a number of years. And so he's walked that fine line between his home country and being in Asia for a number of years, and also working with the GlobalTic organization. So Elias, welcome to the Emerald Planet.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about Enspyre first, and then we're going to start talking about your time in Asia and working in a company here, and then we're going to move to GlobalTic and your work as a mentor with that very fine international organization.
Sure. Enspyre does a lot of things, but we mainly have two services, and one is we answer phone calls for other businesses. So hundreds of small businesses outsource the phone answering to us. So if you would call a company, actually one of my employees would pick up the phone and we answer in their company name and so on. And that's where we started out 11 years ago. But it's a fairly small part of what we do today. The biggest income that we get is from business-to-business telemarketing. So for example, global IT companies that want to find more business in Taiwan, they hire us, we get on the phone, we're calling Taiwanese companies or companies in Taiwan, and we introduce them to, for example, Oracle ERP systems or things like that.
So these are international companies that are looking around the globe, they're looking for new markets, and then they say, well, Taiwan would be a key area because not only does Taiwan have a very vibrant economy itself, but Taiwan is really reaching out to the world. So this allows you to bridge all of these different societies through your telemarketing service. Is that what I understand?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Taiwan is a growing market. It has 1.3 million companies. So a lot of companies that are in marketing things to companies, they want to be here and they want to sell to the Taiwanese businesses that are their customers.
Well, one of the things that we like to talk about in Emerald Planet is the business to business, but also how to green someone's business. I know that you're actually located and working here for a number of years. What are some of the unique ways that you would work here that actually has helped your business to grow, but at the same time to become more responsive and maybe even more green, more environmentally friendly in the way that you're learning and seeing the culture of Taiwan?
That's a lot of stuff in the same question, but we do telemarketing. Most people hate telemarketers, right? You get those phone calls that try to get you to buy insurance or whatever, and that's the business to consumer side. But what I like with my business is that everything we do is very targeted, right? So where marketing often is actually a environmentally bad thing. We print up lots and lots of brochures and we send them out, and people go and stuff them in the mailboxes, and it's not a very environmental friendly business actually. Well, then I look at my business. We make a lot of phone calls, but if you're marketing a specific product, we think about exactly who is going to be interested in that. We call those people. And obviously it's in our best interest to make as few phone calls as possible. So I think it's actually a fairly environmental way of doing marketing, especially on the business-to-business side.
I think it's really fantastic, and I know that there's actually consultants now that are working with all types of businesses in order to green, to make them very lean, to reduce the impact on the environment, to really move towards this zero carbon footprint, as they're now calling it. Is there anything consciously you're doing, or any policies that you put into place for Enspyre that actually looks at the environmental component of what it is you do and how you work, and maybe even telecommuting or reducing the amount of automobiles being used for people to come back and forth? Anything like that that you're using that actually greens your business?
We're looking for new office right now. And one of the things that I'm noticing when I walk into these empty offices is often that you can feel the heat from the outside just radiating through the windows. And I really spend a lot of time right now trying to think about, is there something I can do to retrofit these windows, for example? Because obviously the less heat coming in from the inside means less air conditioner. And when you have a whole bunch of people in one office, if we can save on air conditioner, that's a big expense for us, but obviously it would also cut down on a lot of carbon dioxide emissions.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. Now, looking at GlobalTic, we want to talk about that because the essence of what we're doing here, you're a mentor. I'm here as a judge and mentor as well to these young new businesses from really all over the globe and every continent, I guess, except Antarctica. So how does your job evolve as far as being with GlobalTic and being a mentor to these new businesses? How does that process work?
Well, this is the second time that I'm involved with being a mentor at GlobalTic, and I do a lot of different things with different organizations to mentor new entrepreneurs and so on. But GlobalTic is special because it really is global. To have people from all over the world coming to Taiwan like this and interacting with each other and so on is really interesting. And it's interesting for me too. Maybe I'm a little bit older than most of them, maybe I have a little bit less hair, but it's also interesting for me to make contact from all over. So it's not just one way. It's not like I'm just bestowing my wisdom on them, but I'm learning a lot from them as well, and I think that's what it's all about.
Well, looking at the networking aspect, this is something that the real professionals, people that are growing their businesses, they're reaching out, they're expanding, they're providing the type of service or product that is really necessary, and they're having good fortune with that, are doing it through this organic process called networking. What is networking as far as you would define it, Elias? And how do you think that actually propels businesses to grow smarter, faster, and better?
Well, I think as any businessman, you have to go out and be part of the business community. You sit in your own office and you're hoping that businesses is going to come to you, that customers are going to come to you. It just doesn't work that way. You have to be part of the community. You have to go out and participate, giving speeches or helping others. And to me, networking is kind of like the old concept of karma, right? You're somehow paying into the goodwill of the universe.
Paying forward.
Yes, and it's coming back to you, and really taking the chance to helping others when you have a chance. You might not always know when it's going to be, coming back to you, but I tend to believe that it will.
Yeah, that's what's called the universal law of compensation, is what we're giving out is what we're giving back. And many times it's not the people we're giving to where it's actually coming back to us, but it's this broad collective out there that's, people that are around us that we may not even know. But looking at GlobalTic, how do you see that it balances the collaboration, the competition with this innovation and the startups that many of these companies are as they're trying to progress through the 21st century?
Well, if you're looking at the program, the competition part is only one of 5 days, I believe. So, there's a lot of time allotted in this program for all the people to interact, for having social time and so on. So I mean, I think right there you can see that the collaboration is actually the more important part than the competition.
Many people are looking at technologies and looking at business opportunities as a way to just make money. But we all know that to be really successful in your business, you have to do whatever it is that you really love, what you're passionate about, which is part of your own moral compass and part of your own ethos, where you come from. How do you advise in your mentoring process to these young people? Don't just look at it for the money. Yes, you want to make a profit. Yes, you want to grow your business, but you have to give more than that in order to have a strong, viable, long-term business.
Well, it's just about, if you're just doing it for the money, it's going to be very hard to keep on getting up early in the morning and stay up until late to do it. There's many ways of making money. And being an entrepreneur is not necessarily, for most of us, I mean, there's certainly entrepreneurs that makes very lot of money, but that's not all of us. Not all of us reach that point. But if you're going to keep on fighting to grow your business and provide value to your customers, you need to be passionate. Otherwise, eventually, quite early, you're going to give up. So you better find something you love, because it's not just about the money.
Well, we only have about 60 seconds left, so this needs to be quick. What do you see for the future of GlobalTic? What do you see the future for creating new entrepreneurs at a very young age?
Well, I started my first business when I was 15, or I tried to start my first business when I was 15. And society around me didn't take me serious. And I think we need to realize that if you want to start, anybody who thinks about starting a business, take them serious. Let them play with it. Let them, give it a shot, because you never know. It could be a kid of 10 that creates, the next big thing that is going to save us all.
Well, I think it's absolutely fantastic. Elias Ek, who is a president of Enspyre, Sweden, a startup in Taiwan, is a mentor and coach for GlobalTic. And thank you for being with us as we create the Emerald Planet and as we move forward through the 21st century. And Elias, thank you for being with us. It's really wonderful to meet you and to learn more about your